Most people don't realize that there are highly classified contracts by all the major developing countries, whether you're talking about China, Russia, or the United States, for the super soldier.
They've learned how to read brainwaves and how to translate and interpret brainwave activity to the point that now, games makers are making game systems and kids are moving objects around on screens by thought alone, just by wearing a headset.
So much is happening right now, and we're reaching a point where we can do things that we never thought were possible.
This is a brave new world that's coming on the scene that I think is going to be shocking to a lot of people, and should be shocking for good reasons.
This is where it starts to get interesting, is because what's pushing all these, besides the normal pressures of advancement, is an arms race.
Big parade that turned the tide of war.
Uses sensory equipment and artificial intelligence.
The Jasons, the uppermost scale, most brilliant minds, they are an elite group of scientists that advise the U.S. Pentagon. They're saying to our U.S. military that they have to get ahead of human alteration, including genetic enhancement, because otherwise our competitors or enemies are going to dominate us, let's say, on the battlefield or in the marketplace.
The soldier whose capabilities of motion, of fighting, of perception, of communication with their partners, being enhanced by these technologies. There is a huge, well-funded drive for the super soldier.
Now we have it in military budgets. DARPA, for instance, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, they have in this year's budget literally millions of dollars to create the blueprint for changing the DNA of our soldiers on the battlefield and produce what they're calling the 47th human chromosome. It's kind of a high-tech way of being able to jack in to soldiers on the battlefield in terms of like biological warfare. They would need to do something to make rapid genetic modification to them on the battlefield that might somehow improve their immune systems or something to make them more resilient for biological warfare purposes.
So the world we're looking at, it's only a few years, we're not talking decades, of the year 2040 or something, you're talking in the 2020s, if you will, where the kind of world we'll be living in is very different than the one we know today. The thing that's impacting all our lives is that the rate of progress within 4 technologies are converging. Genetics, of course, and we all have heard about DNA, and we understand that they're constantly making huge discoveries in that area. But another technology that is relevant to all this is robotics. A third technology is nanotechnologies, making machines that are the size of molecules. Tiny, tiny little robots that you can put in the bloodstream that can find a diseased area and have a 10,000 to 1 advantage of administering a medication, as an example. There's a fourth that overlays all of these called artificial intelligence. As computers continue to advance and the software also continues to advance, they predict a day only a few years away. We're not talking decades, we're talking just a few years away, where the computers will exceed the capacity of the human brain. So what has emerged here is a goal of what some people call transhumanism.
How do you do?
To create a superhuman being.
It would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image. without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
We're not talking science fiction here. We're talking about the aspirations of the most knowledgeable practitioners of these technologies. We're heading into a very strange world.
We have entered into what many people that work in advanced fields of science are calling the hybrid age. There are laboratories that are actually conducting experiments on human genetic re-engineering. And when they use the term the hybrid age, what they're saying is that in the same way that we went through the agrarian age, the same way we went through the industrial age, the same way we just are now in the information age, they're saying that in the hybrid age, what we have been doing with genetically modified crops, what we are and have been doing with genetically modified animals, we also are going to do to humans. There are federal grants that are being given to universities for the very purpose of dividing the guidelines that will be used for human genetic alteration.